I'm energized.
There's been a lot of just stuff happening this week with Kamala being the, I guess, the presumptive Democratic
nominee. Yes.
That's the word. Okay, so Kamala Harris is now gaining support from all the Democrats. And, yeah, it's really pretty big. I saw she got endorsements from Beyonce.
Netflix.
Yes, Netflix. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Once I saw Taylor Swift and Hillary Clinton, the Clintons, and the Obamas.
The Obamas.
Yeah.
She got all the big dogs behind her.
She got the big dogs behind her, so I'll give her that credit. I've had. She got the Swifties.
The Beehives.
The Beehive and the Swifties have collaborated for Kamala Harris.
Word.
Yeah, I know the Republicans are
shitting.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Yes.
Shitting in their boot. And I heard they don't like J.D. Vance, but we don't want to talk about it.
Oh, what? No.
We don't want to talk about this yet. Let's
not yet. Not
Kamala.
yet. You are right.
We got to give Kamala her shine.
There's been just basically a lot going on with Kamala from the Republican side. She's been dealing with a lot of, racism and things.
Yeah,
but
they talking about that colored sorority.
Yeah, the colored sorority.
She will not show up for the Prime Minister's joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority, a college sorority, a college sorority, a college sorority.
Yeah, like, really?
Yes.
This is 2024. You still talking like that? Y'all act like, see, this is different. This is the difference with some of you white folks who think and talk like that. Y'all don't think nobody won't smack the shit out y'all ass.
Yeah.
This ain't like how it was where our great grandparents growing up, they ain't gonna fuck. We gonna put them hands, them paws on your ass. You feel what I'm saying? You will get your ass smacked up. You talk to the right person.
See, that's the rough thing about Kamala being the Democratic nominee, because it's like I still don't support her, but at the same time, I do have to acknowledge the white supremacist attacks on her.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sit here and just go, oh, okay, I got to roll with the white supremacists because I don't like her. I can't do that.
I mean, like I said, like my dude said, what's this? His name, Comment Perry. Even if you don't agree with her, vote for her because she black. Because everybody vote for Trump because he white.
Yeah, but
vote for him.
Well, I'm still on the fence because, there is Cornel West.
Cornel West, what about Cornel West?
I'm just saying he's a candidate.
Well, I don't want him as a vice president.
No, I'm talking about he's running for president.
Yeah, but a third party.
Third party, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, my thing is, this is where, all right, for all those people, no, let me be more specific. For all those black people, those white women that's saying, I won't vote for her, first of all, why won't you? You haven't even heard none of her, nothing that she gonna put out there as far as what is she gonna do for us. You haven't even heard Trump even say what the fuck he gonna do for us. So I'm just saying, how you not gonna vote for somebody that you haven't even heard? She haven't put out no plan, no nothing. You know
what triggers my dog hairs, and I go back to this all the time, when she said she's not gonna do anything that's gonna just benefit black people.
So I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
But see, again, you got to understand, because Obama did the same thing.
He never said that. He said a rising tide lifts all boats.
He said I'm a president for all people.
I know, and I get that.
So again,
but you are literally telling me you are not gonna do shit to help me unless it benefits other people.
So when was that said?
She said that during her vice presidential nomination run with Biden.
Okay.
And I have never heard her recant that. Or
again, it's fair to hold whatever, but just keep in mind, people, she has not had an opportunity to put out a plan as far as what does she want to do. So before we just write her off, before we just say I'm not going to vote for her,
I didn't say never.
No, I didn't say you.
Yeah.
Let's just hear her out, because as of right now, this is an election that I haven't heard no party has said what they're going to do for the American people. Just let that sit out there right quick. Neither side has put out there a plan as far as what they're going to do for the American people. Well, the white supremacists have. They got Project 2025. So that's on their agenda. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, so before you sit here and say, just listen. Let's see what she got to say.
Yeah.
And let's just say worst case scenario, right? That she says something that, nope, it don't change her mind. Still vote for her. Again, do you want to be on the right side of history or the wrong side of history? I like to win. You feel what I'm saying? So I want to be on the right side of history. And for those who's in our age group, right, we are going to be first time in history that we're going to have not one, but two colored black people, man and female, that's been president of the United States in this country's 400-year history.
Yeah.
So just let that sink in your head right quick.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Vote.
I still have issues.
Remember,
with
I was on the fence a few weeks ago. I'm energized now. You feel what I'm saying? I'm energized. I want to see now. Again, I'm voting even before. I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm voting for her because she black. I'm voting for her because she a woman. I'm gonna tell you right now. Now, I still want to hear. I mean, I'm not gonna vote for Trump. I mean, because again, for what? What the fuck I'm gonna vote for Trump for? I ask black people, what the fuck Trump has done for us?
Nothing.
Black and Latinos. What Trump has done for us? You know what I hear in common? We had the lowest job rate under Trump.
Yeah.
But do y'all not understand what was that perfect storm, that the reason why that shit happened? We had COVID and we had the opioid crisis. We had two storms that collided with each other. So that's a lot of goddamn white people that would have had them jobs that you niggas and you Mexicans or Latinos got. Y'all wouldn't have got if these was getting killed by one or the other. So let that hang out there, because the opioids was hitting the white folks harder than any other nationality. Let's call it like it is. That's why they call it a fucking crisis. Yeah. When we had crack, when it was cocaine crack, right? It was called the war on drugs. Yeah. It wasn't no damn crisis. It's called the war on drugs. Now the shit hitting damn white America is crisis. So just let that just sink in your head. The reason why you niggas got those jobs because of COVID and motherfucking the opioids.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
So I just wanted to just put it. Oh, another thing. Next thing I hear, we got that money, free checks. You did. Guess what now? That's why we in the fucking inflation right now.
Yeah.
This is exactly why shit costs as much as did, because when Trump was giving out that goddamn money, a lot of you niggas didn't take y'all ass back to work. Y'all sat on your ass, kept getting that money, right? So guess what? All them goods and shit that was sitting out there on the goddamn port, sitting there, us business owners couldn't get to the shit because why? We ain't had nobody bring it in. None of you lazy niggas went to work. And when I say niggas, I'm talking about white, black, whoever. It doesn't matter. You do something ignorant, you a nigga. All right? So let me say that. All right. So y'all niggas didn't go to work. All that shit costs. That's when you had that whole surge of truckers, women and shit, men, whatever, gays, everybody going to trucking because they needed people to move that shit. By the time everything got moving, regular got motion and everything, we had too much money out there in the streets. Yeah. The government was like, hold up. Y'all making $1 a week. So now they had to tighten up on the interest rate. That's why. So that money that y'all said was free wasn't free, niggas. Y'all paying for that shit right now.
Yeah, definitely.
$8 trillion debt because of that. Just let that sit out there. So you physically, Republicans, y'all supposed to be on the physical format, keeping things tough. Y'all don't want to pass on to the generation. Yeah. That's what Trump did. $8 trillion in his one term.
So yeah, Republicans have been dealing with a lot this week. They've been dealing with how to, I guess, get at Kamala Harris, right? Because Donald Trump came out and called her crazy, nuts, dumb as a rock. And did you see also he said, what else did he say? Like,
she was a bum 3 weeks ago. She was a bum. A failed vice president and a failed administration.
Basically going on with the Republicans, they are attacking her. They're commenting on her race, black, South Asian. They're basically questioning her blackness, which I do all the time, but it's white people, so it's unacceptable.
Right.
Yeah, white people can't do that.
How the fuck is somebody white gonna question somebody's blackness? Like, first of all, this is how, number one, you can't question nobody melatonin skin if you can't stay out there more than an hour. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. Yeah. If you can't stay out that bitch more than an hour, shut the fuck up. All right? I'm going.
Hey, did you see that dude on Fox News who called her the original Haktua girl?
Yeah.
That's here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is.
Yeah.
I'm like damn.
They be on some disrespect. See, it's just that alone.
No, they try to give her way too much credit now.
Yeah. But see, that's the reason why. That's the reason why I said that just for the sake of, just vote for her ass. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, I will defend Kamala when there's white supremacist attacks. That doesn't mean I still am on the fence with her, but I'm also not on the fence with white. I'm against that. So
the only way, say, listen, we was there. I was there with you.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying I will always defend people. I will never like go against somebody.
That part, I know exactly
for
what you're
white
saying.
supremacy.
Yeah, I
Because
got
like
you
when
on
you
that.
hear when it's in the community, as they say, like this in-house shit.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
in-house
yeah,
shit.
You are
in-house
not
shit.
in-house. Like
Yeah.
y'all ain't got
You
no
ain't- you
business.
ain't
shit.
invited to the
Y'all-
fucking
Yeah,
cookout.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
If
mean?
you
Like,
can't
that's
come
all
to
it
the
is.
cookout, you
come to
can't
the
question her
goddamn cookout.
blackness.
So you
That's
can't-
my job.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're calling her a DEI hire.
DEI hire. What the fuck you call Trump? Like, really though?
Trump
Like,
is nepotism.
exactly. He's the nepotism. All you motherfuckers.
He's the original Bronny James.
Yeah, exactly. All you niggas that who get mad with LeBron because LeBron got his son on the team. Look at fucking Trump. Y'all want to dick ride his motherfucking ass. That's the king of nepotism.
Yeah. So yeah, they going at her. They went at Fannie Willis, of course, when she was handling his case. Yeah. So they have a history going at black women.
My thing is though, I have issues with black men disrespecting the black women. Like, don't y'all niggas come out? Isn't y'all niggas mama black? Like, isn't she? Like, so with that being said, how can y'all
Sometimes.
Yeah, how can y'all? I be seeing some wild ass posts on my timeline.
Yeah,
that's like, I understand now. Listen, we get it. What she did as a prosecutor, she did
her fucking job.
She did
well.
a job, people. What she do? Yeah,
I mean, she's a prosecutor.
She did a job.
If you fucked up and you went in front of her,
do a job, she wouldn't be in this position. And if she was in the position, then niggas would be like, "Oh, she's soft on crime."
But just think about it.
Like,
if you fucked up and you went in front of her, you already knew what your probability of your chances.
But what about the men she kept behind bars who were supposed to be free to have?
They're still doing that now, though.
Yeah,
and I think that's more than just her.
We got 2 cases in Missouri right now. They supposed to be free. They won't let them out.
I think that's deeper than I still think. You know how they say it's channels and levels. I more than likely, just as far as from my perspective, her hands were probably tied. She probably couldn't do shit about that.
And then let's okay, again, let's go there. You want to talk about that shit? Let's talk about it. Did not Joe Biden create the 1994 crime bill? A lot of you niggas, including myself, cannot own a gun because of that fucking law right there. Like, let that shit sink in your fucking head. You still voted for him, and you still was gonna vote for him. So what? I'm like, come on, make it make sense. Make sure the energy is level.
Yes.
Stop always trying to knock somebody what they did 20 years ago. Because I'm sure a lot of you motherfuckers, we go in your fucking background and we can find some shit that we can question about. Yeah. So, again, what she did as a state prosecutor, she did her job. Can you agree or disagree with it? Yes, that's fair. Fair game. But she's on a national level. So on a national level, you guys to have a coalition of people to win this fucking election. You got to have the whites. You got to have the blacks. You got to have the Latinos. You got to have the gays. You got to have the Muslims. You got to have a coalition, people.
Look, I'll put it like this. If she was prosecuting Young Thug, I think he would have had a problem. That's the type of fucking reputation she had. I'm just saying in general. That's
Fonnie could have had a case if
I wouldn't even say that because you know why? Because all right, let's just without getting off too subject.
That's because it turned into a shit show.
Right, but I'm just saying though, just look at the evidence that they have. They don't have any.
Nigga, okay, think about it. We're talking about judicial system.
Right.
Normally if you even make it to a Fed case, though, it's because they already have something. And that's all I'm saying. So,
but we also do know Fed cases too. People that got brought a Fed case
bullshit
just based off
and
somebody
said something. Oh yeah,
exactly. So we know that the Fed shit is very light when it comes.
But if you ever get caught up in it,
you're right. But that means that person has to have some hellified credibility, and you must be in the rim of them even saying that is correct for them to even have you up in that shit. That's all I'm just saying. So with that being said, just if you're gonna say Fannie and Kamala, you know what I'm saying, just based off the evidence, they don't have a case.
I was saying their reputation of a conviction rate. That's all I was saying.
We had damn motherfucker. How long did damn on the Gambino crime family Rico case take? That ain't take it long. They ain't take no fucking 3 years.
No, it didn't.
They ain't even take
They
a fucking.
dragged that out.
Yeah, they dragging this shit out.
Because it's a shit show.
Right, it is no case. Free that man. Free Young Thug.
Hey, quick question. Now I know I had my little conversation about like siding against, not going with white supremacy. Is it okay to laugh at certain things? Because Trump has nicknamed Harris Laughing Kamala, mocking her laugh. And I just started thinking about all the times they caught her on video laughing. Yeah, and it just made me giggle a little bit. I'm like, am I fucked up for laughing at that?
No, because
Okay.
no, hell no.
Okay.
Because I still think about Kawhi Leonard's laugh.
Yeah.
But anybody using the laugh in a white supremacist manner though.
Yeah, no.
See, that's the difference.
It's just laughing Kamala. That's what.
It's a difference though,
Yeah.
because what he says, what he does is viewed way totally different than somebody else saying that about mocking her laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I know.
I
I just thought that was funny.
What I think is typically going to be funny this go around
Yes.
are the new insults that he has to come up with.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing
because
about
that's my point.
But listen though. If you really look at it, the whole playbook, what they were going to try on Joe Biden was just keep lying, keep throwing zingers out there,
and his age.
Yeah, right? Because he couldn't keep. Well, they both the same age.
But no.
They both the same age.
But as far as
Trump was
how
still
it
younger.
looks, how it manifests in public.
Joe's dementia is getting to him.
Yeah.
You can see how it looks.
getting
in
it.
public.
No, yeah, he was just affected by dementia.
Right. So what I'm saying is they could have kept hitting them with zingers and lying like they did a whole fucking debate.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And you didn't have nobody call them out and push back on it. See, they can't do that playbook with Kamala because she gonna bust his ass every fucking corner. Remember, she's a prosecutor, right? And she's smart as hell. He dumb as fuck. That's another thing. You want a dumb ass motherfucker back in office again. Y'all rather this motherfucker almost overturned the government. Like, let that shit sink in y'all head.
I'll be honest, I don't think Trump is as popular as the media makes him out to be.
No, he's not. He's not as popular.
Oh, no, he is definitely popular.
No, he's popular
amongst his base.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
He's popular amongst his base, but and all the ones that doesn't do no.
But I don't understand why he would be in a political ring popular. Like that's the part I don't. He does
things the unconventional way. Everybody's doing it PC.
It doesn't matter if it's conventional or unconventional.
It does when you got a motherfucker up there basically talking shit, right?
Then that's not politics.
Say what?
Then that's not politics.
They don't care. They don't want nobody. If you look at who he's attracting, outside the educated ones that he attracted, they know they can manipulate him with money and just kissing his ass. They know that. That's the playbook with the educated ones. It's the motherfuckers who's not educated. It's the motherfuckers who don't have a college degree, who's not even in that 1 percentile. Hell, they fucking poor as hell. They're poorer than us. They like his ass because he's white and he's talking shit.
Yeah.
That's it. He's not your traditional politician.
So he should definitely not be in this ring. He should not be in this arena.
Well, of course he shouldn't be. But this is where if this is one time Democrats should tear up that playbook, this is it. Because the Republicans is literally beating y'all at your. They're not playing the game. They're cheating. They're straight cheating. No,
They have manipulated
the whole process.
That's what it is. They're not cheating. They just manipulate.
They manipulate the whole process. They manipulate this whole process to where they got not one, but two conservative Supreme Court judges in there. Two. So if I'm Kamala, right? One of my agendas that I'll be running on is term limits.
Yes.
That should be I'll be running on that. That should be one campaign promise that you should be running on, that I believe that all America, doesn't matter whether you're Republican, Democrat, rich, poor, will agree on. Because number one, that keeps old people that's been in office 20, 30 plus years. It also forces people to govern.
Yes.
Because see, you know, last time I checked, right, we all live in the same country. We live in different areas of the country. Some live in North, some live in the Midwest, South, West, et cetera, et cetera. We all live in the same country. We're not going to get everything we want. We got to the point in politics, we are so tribalism that it's like kill or be killed. If we win, we got to run the whole house on it, not knowing that when the other side win, they're going to do it right back. So it's like, when we going to stop and get back to just govern? Like, you're not going to get everything what you want. We're going to have to make deals. We're going to have to shake hands and shit. You're going to have to do that shit. Yeah. So term limits will help that because you have no choice but to do your job in that. You got what? Up to 2 terms.
Yeah.
2-term limits. So that's 8 years max.
Yeah. You have all the time in the world to get what you need done. Okay. In addition to that, there was some new information on Trump because he was in Charlotte. What was that, Wednesday, when he called Kamala Harris a bum. Kamala Harris a bum. Nah, bruh.
I told y'all, hey, man.
Hey, yo, he was practicing.
I told y'all.
When he walked in, he was practicing.
He was practicing right before we went live.
I kept it real.
Now he trying to school niggas.
Yes.
Hey, look, I was about to close the door and they on the phone
Hey,
like
Kamala.
Hey,
Kamala.
Come on, you didn't help me. You didn't help me. You did not help. Did you not?
I did.
Okay. You did. So I already did.
You know, I keep calling her by that wrestler. The wrestler's name?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's why I remember.
You called him Kamala.
Yeah, because that's
Kamala. No, it's not her.
Wasn't his name spelled the same exact way?
Almost, yeah.
No, it's the same exact spelling.
It's pronounced different.
Yeah,
it's Kamala.
Yeah, it's spelled the same, but it's pronounced different. So yeah, I do accidentally call her Kamala.
No, don't worry, it's all good, man. Yeah. I said I promised I was going to make sure I'm on
therapy for 30
That's right.
Yeah. No.
Right,
the other thing going on before the show.
You never too old to learn, motherfuckers. Now,
yeah. No, one disturbing thing Trump said was that if he's elected, he wanted to do away with voting.
For 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out.
Did you see that clip?
Yeah. Christians, don't worry. We win. You don't have to vote again.
You got to vote again.
That's
play with it.
And he even said, "I'm not Christian."
So,
yeah,
this another
for the
thing.
evangelicals.
Yeah,
right. I mean, like,
right.
That's what I'm saying. This
that was
every time
mind-blowing.
I hear, like, when you're normally dealing with politics, especially from my perspective at our age or whatever, you don't get heathens and devils and sodomites and just straight up motherfucking savages running for office blatant like this and then put them on a pedestal.
Right.
It's like I said, to me it's unheard of. I mean, it's common now, but to me it's just
Is it really?
I don't even understand how this is even considered a political battle. Because there's not 2 people in politics on that stage. It's just not.
Well, one you before the change of guard, you had one that was completely lost. He was mentally, so he couldn't speak and think on fast enough to combat that shit. So, I mean, if you really look how the nigga don't even want to debate her. Keep that out there. He don't even want to show up. He don't even want to debate.
Because he knows she has answers.
Yeah, exactly. He can't. Like I said, that whole whole playbook. If everybody go back and look at the debate now, all he was doing was lying
and talking shit
and zingers.
You just talking shit.
What about January 6th? We had low taxes. We had this and the third. We had that and the third. He just straight up not answering shit, basically. So if he gon' not...
And just think, you remember when Bush used to do it, but he would at least answer and stall the question out. You know what I mean? He would answer the question for the most part. He would stall out the other part that he wasn't going to answer.
Just imagine.
This nigga answers nothing.
Just imagine Kamala, Obama, any black politician talking like this motherfucker. Please.
They would never...
Y'all wouldn't... I'm just saying...